Good afternoon. Well, welcome to the 2022 University of Kansas Student Employee of the Year Awards Ceremony. My name is Ann Hartley. I'm from the University Career Center here at KU, and I serve as the chair of this committee that does the awards ceremony every year. I'm really pleased that all of you were able to join us today for our 11th annual event. I'm especially pleased because we're here in person today, and the last 2 years we had this event, but it was done virtually, and it just wasn't the same as being able to recognize people in person and have them come up on stage, and it's just really nice to have everybody here back in person. And here at KU, our student employees work in a wide range of jobs in almost every department. Our campus simply could not run without our student employees, and we are really pleased to recognize a select group of you here today. When we started this program back in 2012, I wanted to learn a little bit more about the history of student employment at KU, so I went over to the Spencer Library and did some research and tried to find some things about past things about student employment. And I uncovered some interesting information, mostly from the 1930s during the Depression. In 1934, KU had a student population of 4,000, and 4 years of college cost about $1,500. About 45% of students worked through school, and students earned on average $15 a month, which is about 30 cents an hour. And that rate just about covered room and board. Today, undergraduate students nationally who work during school, the percentage is about 80%, and I think at KU it might even be slightly higher than that, the number of our students that work. Employment makes all the difference for our students to be able to stay in college and finish a degree, and of course, we know at the Career Center, any skills that you can get during school, you'll take with you afterwards into your career, so being employed is really important for students. And I'd also like to just share a little bit of background about this Student Employee of the Year recognition program. Each year, colleges and universities across the country recognize the importance of the student work experience during National Student Employment Week, which occurs annually during the second week of April. The purpose is to draw attention to the contributions that student workers make and the many roles that they fill. So 11 years ago, we formed a committee at KU to implement a recognition program for outstanding student employees. And while many departments already recognize their students within their own departments, this was the first time we had a campus-wide recognition program. We sent a campus-wide email out to encourage supervisors to nominate their student employees through an online form, and those were received through the end of January. And then we also asked for volunteers across campus to help review those nominations. In February, our volunteers read and scored all the nominations. This year, we received 37 student nominations, and each one is read and scored by 3 different people. Then these scores are combined and totaled, and from that, we select 5 finalists, one of which will be named the winner here today. As part of this recognition, our campus winner was entered into the regional competition for the Midwest Association of Student Employment Administrators. And the Midwest Association, they select one winner from each state in our region, and there are, I believe, 4 regions, each of them with 12 or 13 states. And then each state winner is considered for the regional competition, and then regional winners are sent on to the National Student Employment Association to compete for the National Student Employee of the Year. And National Association has been recognizing outstanding student employees since 1995. So we're really pleased that we're now participating in this program. At this time, I'm really pleased to have Provost Barbara Bickenwell here, who's going to share a few remarks with us and some comments. So please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's such a pleasure to get to see all of you in person. It's only taken a couple of years to have the opportunity to be present with people in the room. It's such a privilege for me to get to be here with you today, and I want to thank you for all that you do And so I'm recognizing that you're all here to be honored today, or many of you are here to be honored, and many of you are here to celebrate those honors. But I also want to acknowledge that there are people who make these opportunities available, so I want to thank Anne and her team for doing the work to put this event together. So Anne, thank you. We were commenting before the event started today that it's kind of hard to believe that we are truly in spring. We are starting to see the end of the semester in the academic year, and we're warm today. We're here fanning ourselves, and that it feels like we're really coming to the final stages of an academic year, and it feels like we're also coming to the final stages of what's been a particularly challenging and particularly difficult time in the university's history. And you all who have been student employees have been here doing really important work for the university, doing really important work for the people we serve day in and day out during all of that period of time. So I want to start by acknowledging you and thanking you, and I'll be thanking you several times, but I just want to thank you for being here, being present, and understanding the importance of what you do for KU. Because as we know, as you know, as a lot of people know, and as certainly a lot of people have showed up over the course of the last week to be in community and to testify to, KU is a very special place. And when you stop to think about why is it that KU is such a special place, what you start to realize is KU is a special place because, yes, Mount Oread is beautiful. Yes, we have a great history. Yes, we have phenomenal facilities. Yes, we have a huge impact on our state and the nation and beyond. But all of that happens through relationships with people. All of that happens through relationships with people. And when you think about that, and at core, what we are and what we do at KU, our special character comes from the fact that we are a community of Jayhawks. We are a community of people who are dedicated to a few common things. We're dedicated to the idea that we all can grow and learn and improve and be better and change and transform and flourish. We're dedicated to the idea that we're here to support each other. We're dedicated to the idea that we all have some unique gift or talent to bring together and create a greater whole than any individual part, any individual person. And so some of you know that that happens through service, that happens through the educational enterprise, that happens through the research enterprise, that happens through service to community. All of it happens through work. And for those of you who have been student employees and those of you who are being honored here today because you're the best of our best of student employees, you are the best of all that that brings. KU has a great vision statement. Our vision statement is that we will be an exceptional learning community that lifts each member and advances society. And when you think about what that means, that's what you're doing here as a student. You are lifting others. You're lifting yourself. You're creating that lift through constantly growing and learning and changing and being better. And you're doing that in service of a greater whole. And that's really what makes work and study and learning such a sacred enterprise. So I want to take a minute and just recognize again that you are phenomenal individuals. You are critical to the life and the heart and the hands of this institution. Your contributions you might not think are that big of a deal. You might simply be here doing the work you need to do because you need to earn some money, because you need to pay tuition and you need to get through school. You might be here working in a job that is a starting point for a career that you aspire to have. You might be here working because you have friends working in the same place you're working and you wanted to be with your community and your network. But whatever brought you here to the work that you do and to be honored today, I want to acknowledge you're here because somebody thinks you put in extraordinary effort and that you approach your work and your tasks with high levels of professionalism and insight, but most of all, you approach your tasks with a spirit of service. And I can't thank you enough for that, because that may be what we're missing in our society today. that may be what we need more of, but that connection that comes through service, through being part of something greater than yourself, certainly is something that we all can use more of. So I want to thank you again. We have thousands of student employees at KU. We have more student employees than we do faculty. We have more student employees than we have staff. So it says something if you're being honored as a student employee today. Your work matters. You individually matter to this institution. Your desire to learn matters to this institution. Your desire to serve matters to this institution. Your desire to be in community as a Jayhawk matters to this institution. So thank you for all you do. Collectively, we cannot appreciate and express our thanks to you enough, but we're going to give you a round of applause anyway. So thank you for all you do. Thank you.
And at this time, I'd like to introduce KU Student Body President, Naya McAdoo, who's going to come up and share a few comments with us. Thanks, Naya.
Hi, everybody. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. My name is Naya Denise McAdoo. I use she, they pronouns, and I am your current KU Student Body President. I just want to say a really big thank you, first of all, to Ann Hartley for reaching out to me and just giving me the opportunity to come and celebrate with you all in this moment, and just kind of give some encouraging words and ultimately thanks. Student employees are ultimately what makes the world go round here on our campus. As Provost Bickelmeyer said, there's more student employees than there are faculty on this campus. A lot of you really do put in a lot of amazing work on our campus, not only for students, but also faculty and staff as well. Whether you're working in the libraries or dining, or even student housing. I have experience as a student employee myself in housing and now within Student Senate and getting able to work with amazing students every day and do that student advocacy work. So yeah, I'm really grateful to be here with you all. I see some of y'all have y'all parents here, so also applause to the parents. Y'all raised some amazing children. And ultimately, that really shows, in the amazing work that they contribute to our campus every day. We wouldn't be here on our campus, without students, without, I'm still a student, fellow students, and just the incredible, amazing work that y'all do. Some of the best interactions I've had on campus and learning has come from other students and the amazing advocacy work and day-to-day work that they put in on our campus. So I'm just really grateful to be here. You all deserve to be here. You're an amazing part of this campus, and I can't wait to see what you all do in the future as well. So thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. We now get to the portion of the program where we get to recognize all of you amazing, amazing individuals. So we will now recognize our 37 nominees and ask that they come up to the stage to receive their certificate and Jayhawk pin. Please remain on stage until all of our nominees have been recognized, and we'll take a quick group photo with everyone. We'll ask that you hold your applause, as excited as you may be, until all students have been recognized. And so I will now begin to announce our nominees. Ilar Atadurdeyeva, Mackenzie Bone, Morgan Cassidy, Grace Cooper, Nele Davis, Megan Donner, Ethan Eichberger, Abigail Elliott, Macy Flood, Krista Grace, M. Greenwood, Sarah Hammocky, Mackenzie Kaluza, Nicole Clavascuya, Emily Cruz, Liz Landry, Naomi Madu, Luke Maneth, Noah Mercer, Shazil Mir, Jessica Monroe, Marissa Moreland, Brad Nicklaus, Morgan Nolte, Elizabeth Overschmidt, Olivia Prophet, Madison Rice, Ashley Rothmeyer, Serena Russo, Ethan Sandberg, Bethany Sharp, Chloe Thornton, Callie Yulin, Josie Walls, Caitlin Willis, and Jenny Zhang. Let's have a big round of applause to all of our outstanding nominees. I suppose I should have waited till you all got on stage. We'll take one moment for our photo. You all look lovely. Oh, that's very, very nice. I like that. For the next career fair. That sounds like a great idea. Everybody find your window. And if you feel like you can't be seen, you may find your way. There's some room on this left side in the front. See, this is why you're a great student leader, because you are thinking of the wise things. And while we wait for the pictures, just one more round of applause while people get in order. Did you want to come in the corner? Yeah, this is good. Okay. All right, thank you all. You may return to your seats. Yes, that'd be great. All right, and as mentioned earlier, we will have 5 finalists. These 5 finalists were developed based off of the evaluation of the nominees, and so we will recognize now the 5 finalists. And I'm sorry to you all that are now seated as finalists, but you will have to come back to the stage, but we wanted to make sure that you got your steps in today. And so please come back to the stage as I call your names. The supervisors of each student will say a few words about the students that are nominated, and this is in no particular order, but our first 5 finalists are Madison Rice, nominated by Blair Schneider in the Kansas Geological Survey Department.
We'll have her stand next to you so you can say a few things.
Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
Yay, public speaking. All right, so my name is Dr. Blair Schneider, and Madison Rice here is what I like to call my wonder grad. She is a phenomenal human being. She's been working at the Kansas Geological Survey this past year. She is also doing a research project with me because this woman here is getting double honors thesis in biology and anthropology. She's in her junior year. And I just wanted to point out, this past 2 years have been really difficult. Maybe past 3 years have been pretty difficult, right? We haven't had a lot of necessarily help or support as we're trying to make our way through, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gotten anything done. She's incredibly driven, she's incredibly independent, and there's not a task that I can ask her to do that she can't do. She is smashing rocks for me to make rock cycle boxes for K through 12 teachers. She's making all of the social media posts because I am incapable. And she's processing geophysical data, and she's writing reports. There's nothing I can't ask her to do. She does everything timely, professionally. She just impresses me with her maturity. And so I am just so excited that she's made it to the top 5. Congratulations.
All right, our next finalist is Aylar Atardeyeva, nominated by Christine Latta, the Assistant Vice Provost of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Welcome.
So I feel that same way about public speaking, and so so I probably won't be as exciting as yours was, but I am so pleased to have a chance to participate in recognizing Aylar for her outstanding service as a student employee at KU. Aylar has been with the Office of Graduate Studies since August of 2019, the same semester that she transferred to KU. The scope and depth of her responsibility is, to my mind, highly unusual for a student hourly. Her work is focused primarily upon research support for policy development, handling of petition processes, graduate student health insurance enrollment, and graduate faculty appointments, among other things. She's also contributed to graduate awards management and office communications more generally. Perhaps one of the qualities I notice and value most in Aylar is the ownership she takes in her role. I have been so impressed with the way she doesn't just pass a problem on, something that I should say I would find perfectly acceptable in a student employee. But instead, she takes that problem and tries to identify solutions first, which she then brings to me. They're often right on, but she brings to me or brings to another staff member before taking action. Aylar also assists with policy research, requiring only minimal guidance to produce high-quality work. She asks good questions, and she can always be counted on to analyze and interpret information with a really high level of analysis. She is a model of professionalism and has an incredibly strong work ethic. Without exception, she completes her work on time and with an exceptional high level of accuracy. Aylar's a wonderful colleague. She's become an integral part of our team. We've been going through a lot of transition in the office, and I truly, truly can say personally that my life would have been much, much more difficult if Aylar hadn't have been there through that transition. She really carried a huge portion of the office operations through a really difficult time. So just one more thing I want to note. We're here to recognize her for her service to KU and the skills that allow her to excel in her work. But Aylar has done this while chalking up a stellar academic record with a triple major, I believe it is, in political science, global and international studies, and let's throw in microbiology. And I think she has a few minors in there as well, yes. So Aylar, thank you for everything that you've done for our office.
Next, we have Brad Nicklaus, who was nominated by Alan Algier, the Associate Director for the Department of Chemical and Petroleum Engineering. Okay.
Just stand over here.
Hey everybody, my name is Alan Allgaier. I'm a faculty member in Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, and I'm really excited to share some words about Brad Nicklaus, who works as an assistant researcher in my laboratory. One thing I want to say is that the research portfolio at KU is diverse, and it includes occasionally when we work with companies. We try to get a lot of that, okay? And, and we had an opportunity to work with a drug company to develop a therapy for a metabolic disorder. And in patients who have this disorder, it really affects their lifestyle a lot. It's proprietary, so I can't say too much more about that disorder, but this was a real great achievement for us to land this contract. And so we hired a postdoc to do that work, and we had an assistant researcher who could help in the laboratory. And within just a few months, the postdoc got a job in the pharmaceutical industry, and that left us with an interesting position. And I turned to Brad, who was helping us, and I said, do you think you could handle a little more? He didn't blink an eye. And Brad took over not just laboratory work, but he took over all the communications with the company, our biweekly updates with the company. He was responsible for organizing all of the data, most of which he collected himself. And he's a real collaborator. We need to collaborate with different laboratories on campus because we can't do it all ourselves. Everybody brings unique expertise. And this is a guy who's really great with teamwork. I was so pleased the way that he could connect the data from different laboratories, but there's another aspect of teamwork. He also showed up one day with a slide in the slide deck with the chief scientist from the company, and he put his face onto one of his favorite Major League Baseball players. And that kind of levity actually does help to build team. So it's just been a real pleasure to work with Brad. And you might ask, like, how did we identify the undergraduate who would work on this important project? You know, I want to say I'm a big fan of work study and student employment. So if I go all the way back to 1989, I was a work study for a university archivist. If there's a university archivist in the audience, we want to thank you. But these programs, one of the things that they bring is an element of mentorship. And I really just want to highlight that. It's been great for Brad and I. So Brad was part of a sort of a select group that qualified for a program called the Emerging Scholars Program here at KU that allows people to take work study but begin to work with a mentor in the laboratory. And these kind of relationships, we know from data, really help students be more engaged and to find career interests and really to make successful students, and they're very helpful in our laboratories as well. So Brad is an example of that. So we've actually been working together for 3 years, but only in this assignment for the present year. Brad is really a great example of a team player, a leader within a team, and a really great engineer. And I've just been really pleased to be working with him.
All right, so next we'll have Megan Donner, who was nominated by Rafael Machado in the University Press of the Kansas Department. I welcome you both up.
Hi there, my name is Ralph Machado. I work at the University Press as the Distribution and Customer Service Coordinator. As others have echoed before, it was definitely a tough year for all of us here on campus. For us, especially in my department specifically, we had our business manager and director resign early in the year. Which cut down our business department from the 2 of us and 5 students to me and about 3 students, which made it difficult with me having to be at several places all at the same time. And well, that's where Megan comes in. She's been with us for 3.5 years now, And when those tough times hit, she was always willing to offer her time to cover shifts for other employees that couldn't make it. She was also able to also work. She worked mostly in our front desk, answering phones, taking orders from customers, and all of those kind of things. But as understaffing hit us, she also offered to work in our warehouse, actually, going out and picking up the books and packaging herself. And she did a great job with that. She also has been our go-to person to train our new employees. At this point, she's probably trained over a dozen people, both in our warehouse and at the front desk. And I know that I can trust all of those new employees because they're obviously trained very well by Megan. And she's also managed to do all of this while working towards her career, also working for the KU Athletics with the football team, and now she's also working with the Royals. And she's, even through all of her extra jobs and all of that, she's still made enough time to come and help us out and do a great job at that. So, yeah.
Okay. And then the last of our finalists is Bethany Sharp, who was nominated by Lindsay Kuhn in the Bureau of Child Research Lifespan Institute. Welcome up.
So glad they had a podium for the tall people. That's good. I was a little worried about that. So I'm Lindsay Kuhn. I'm an assistant research professor in the Lifespan Institute. And I think I'm so grateful to be following everyone's great speeches here. But I think I speak for a lot of us when I say thank you very much for this opportunity to even nominate our students. We don't really have a lot of ways to say thank you to them other than hopefully writing a great letter of recommendation that gets them to the next step. So thank you very much for you guys for organizing this. So just to brag on my student, Bethany Sharp here just a little bit. She came in last summer and was filling the shoes of a graduate research assistant that I had, who was studying biostatistics. So I used him a lot, needless to say. So she had some really big shoes to fill, and she stepped in and stepped up like no undergraduate I've ever had before. She did a great job of taking feedback and criticism and using it across not just one study, but multiple studies that we were working on. She takes initiative, which I know we all want our student employees to do and learn how to do, and she kind of did it without asking. And as soon as she started to do that, I went, oh, I've got a diamond here. I better keep her around. Bethany also has a genuine curiosity to learn about the research process, and that's kind of a rare trait especially amongst our undergraduate students. They just kind of do the research activities and don't really think about the why. They just complete the what. But Bethany started asking, well, why? Why are we doing this in this early step? Why are we having to deal with IRB? Why is this recruiting step so important? Which is really nice, and especially in our line of research, we work with people with disability, particularly mobility-related disability, as well as older adults who are aging with long-term disability. So these are people who had spinal cord injuries from age 21, and now they're aging. So we have what some might call a vulnerable population to work with, and Bethany having the experience to ask, what about the big picture, really has propelled her as a wonderful research assistant. So with all those traits that I started noticing in her, I gave her a lot more responsibility, as I've noticed a theme here. She started supervising not just undergraduates here at KU, but we also work very closely with the University of Illinois. So she runs an entire research team at the University of Illinois. Not something I would have had any other undergraduate student do. So recently we learned that Bethany accepted a graduate position here at KU, speech, language, hearing, and linguistics. had to get that right. So as soon as we learned she was staying here at KU, we all began scrambling, trying to find how can we keep her? What other funding can we pull from so we can keep her involved? But beyond anything, Bethany has definitely come into our research with this innate professionalism. She really wants to serve folks, all of our research participants especially, and she has this great compassion and desire to learn about each individual. So nobody that comes through our studies is seen as just a research subject. With Bethany, they're really taken care of and seen as a person and an individual with specific experiences and a story. So I'm very honored again to be here bragging on my undergraduate student, and thank you again for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to welcome Baby J up, but while Baby J comes to the stage, Baby J is also our finalist. I'm kidding. I would like to take a moment to thank all of the supervisors for nominating their outstanding student employees. We all know that student employees give their all and that we couldn't get by without them and their hard work. And so we appreciate you for all you do, and thank you to the supervisors for submitting those nominations to be able to recognize the amazing work that our students do. Thank you. Okay. So now the moment that I think many of you have been waiting for is the announcement of the winner of the 2021-2022 KU Student Employee of the Year. And this individual is Aylar Atadurdeyeva in the Office of Graduate Studies. Please come back to the stage to receive your awards.
Also, maybe Jay can hold on to that for me. Thank you. Thank you. Take a picture, and there we go. And just to let you know, this year our winner receives a lovely plaque, but also an award of $500. So, and that's why we have the check. You actually get that as, KU doesn't just write you a check, it comes through like your payroll. So,
I'm not going to bank.
Yeah, that's right. If you try to go to the bank and cash that, they'll kind of laugh and go, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's great. And while you're on stage, I have one other real special announcement. This year I heard from the Midwest Association, Regional Association, that Aylar has been selected as the State of Kansas Student Employee of the Year, which is great. Yeah. And yeah. And you'll be receiving a certificate and a check for $50 from them as well. So awesome. So thank you so much. It's great. All right. We'll let you go down. So just a few closing words. I just want to say congratulations again to each of our nominees, the finalists, our winner, everybody. You make KU such a special place to work, and we really thank you for being here. Also, in closing, can't leave without recognizing our Student Employee of the Year committee members listed on the back of the program, because they contribute their time and energy to pull off this program every year, and also our 24 volunteers this year who read nominations and scored them. We really appreciate that help. I also just want to give a special shout out to the marketing team at the University Career Center, because they do a lot of detail work for us in terms of putting together the programs and name tags and all kinds of things for us. So they do a lot of help to make this ceremony happen. And then finally, of course, our sponsors and our donors, also listed on the back, they also make it possible for us to hold the program. So this concludes our recognition today. Please stay and join us at the reception at the north end of the ballroom for refreshments. We have had a number of people give us some really lovely gift cards and gift bags, and we're going to go ahead and draw and give those away during the reception to our student nominees who are here. So please stay, because we do have some fabulous gift cards and other prizes. So again, thank you very much, and stay and get your picture taken with Baby J too, because Baby J is going to be around for a while. Thanks so much.